Today on Boffy Racing, we're going to do a build breakdown on Mary Shelley, my Supercharged 89.
Hey everyone, it's Daniel here from Boffy Racing, and today we're going to do a video on Lee's staff car, Mary, which is our supercharged Mark 1 pink Anglesey smashing tyre shredding machine. And here is the man himself, Lee, fresh from Anglesey.
Hi everyone.
So Lee, tell us about the two things that everyone asks about this car. One, why is it pink? And what on earth is that lip and where can they get it?
So the car is pink, not by design. Well, actually by somebody's design. The previous, it's been sprayed pink by a previous owner. There is overspray on the passenger side quarter light. People think it's faded all the time. It definitely isn't. Yeah, you can see it's there's red paint under there.
Right. Excellent. Concourse, would you say?
For what I need, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And the lip is a GVK.
So talk to us about the wheels, because the fitment's pretty good, right? You've got the car's pretty low, but does it rub?
Doesn't rub at all. So the previous owner has actually done a really good job of rolling the arches. They're really beautiful, to be honest.
You wouldn't really know, would you? They do look quite good.
So the wheel is a UL12, so it's an ultralight UL12. 8 1/4 inch ET20 and the 15-inch wheel. So at the minute I'm just running road tyres, so it's a Kumo HS51
in a 205/50.
Yeah.
And on your AR-1s, what wheel specs do you run on that?
So the AR-1s are they're a BBS E30 RZ wheel, 15/7 ET24. So they're pretty heavy, none of them are round, but I run a 205/50 15 AR1 on that for the track. They're not the optimum track wheel, but to be honest, they fit really nice. Even if you've got a standard car, you don't need to roll them to get them to fit.
So what was the story then? Because this car, in a way, was built kind of quickly.
It was. So I had a turbo Mark 2.5, so that was a 2005. I built that probably 4 years ago, and that ran great for 2 years, and then I decided to turn it up and blew an engine up. So I don't do the tuning in Boffy, you'll be glad to know, that's all Dan. So James then swapped another engine into it. And
in our shed, we while he was gallivanting somewhere, we put an engine in for him.
Yeah. So top lads put an engine in for me. I didn't even touch it because we had a track day at Rockingham. Yeah. So smashed that in.
And it was like the last track day that was potentially going to happen at Rockingham as well.
It was.
Yeah.
I did the track day. It was awesome. And then I blew the engine up again on the roads. So when we started Boffy Racing, we looked to do a supercharger kit ourselves. I bought a 1.6 that had been crashed called Gwyneth. Insert photo now. I ran that car for about 6 months, and then I moved to London for a year, so the car got laid up. I moved north to Barnsley, and I then blew up the Mark 2.5.
Which was your daily driver?
It was my daily driver.
Yeah.
So I phoned my dad and said, Dad, I need a car. I can't get to work. So what he then did is he took the car to be MOT'd, and it failed catastrophically. So Dad chucked about square meters worth of sheet metal into it to bodge it through the MOT. Got it through the MOT and phoned me up and said, you can't drive this for any longer than about a month. So phoned up one of my buddies, and we got chatting, and he said, I've got a Shell, but it is matte pink. And I thought, well, that sounds great. What conditions it in? And he sent me a picture of that rear arch, and I was like, yeah, let's have it.
So, to those that know, that's an untouched original arch.
Should we have a look under the bonnet?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So, let's see what we've got to play with. This is a very unhappy short nose 1.6 that you have, like, the engine's done because you can't ever replace the cam belt.
No. Somebody has already done a short nose repair on it. So what they did is they took the crank bolt and they drilled the center of it out, and they then, because they couldn't get a bolt to fit, so it was for some reason, and they quick metalled the pulley onto the crank nose. So the whole thing is a single piece. So my front main is, you can take a shower under it. It's pretty bad. And so, to be honest, this engine is on borrowed time now.
But it does make...
It makes the jam, yeah.
Yeah. So this has got some fancy cam wheels locked at TDC for all the stance boys out there.
Yeah.
They look good.
Well, what happened is we had planned to go to the dyno.
Yeah.
And we never made it back.
So this car we did a dyno run with. It's the same dyno we've done multiple cars on, and pulled 196 at the hubs out of it. So it's about 210, 220 brake horsepower, something like that, at the engine. And it certainly feels like it.
Yeah.
And this is the SR1 kit. The original SR1 kit.
With a second throttle body, you might notice.
With a second throttle body now, which does make quite a difference, keeping it quote-unquote quieter.
Yeah, it's definitely quiet at idle.
Yeah.
And at cruise, part throttle is still an absolute screamer, which is nice.
That's what you want, isn't it? You want it loud when you want it loud.
Yeah.
So stock engine, 17% reduction pulley, does have a little bit of belt slip because of that, right?
Yeah, it does. But we're designing a overlay pulley, so with the overlay pulley we'll be able to maintain the original supercharger pulley, which means that you will get all the additional overspinning of the supercharger to make like 9 psi. So in terms of suspension, the car's on Mazda R Zeta S's.
So these are the OG, isn't it?
Yeah, from a long time ago.
These must be 4 or 5 years old. They must be.
They are. Though we changed the springs to 10k front and 6k rear. But it's got Jackson Racing anti-roll bars front and rear.
Cool.
It's got SVT big brakes at the minute, so there's 270mm at the front, 276 at the back.
Yeah, they fully fit, don't they?
Yeah, they look pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's got, at the minute, it's got EBC with their. They sent us this
their new non-production yellow stuff,
which worked great. So that's what I'm running currently. It normally has Roderson's pads in it, which are great. We don't normally have an issue with those on track. They're really good. Don't seem to fade or anything like that. So we haven't talked about the exhaust manifold or anything like that. So at the minute it's on a 4-into-1 exhaust manifold. I'm not sure what the brand is. It's then decatted to a 2.5-inch M2 back. So we would start it up, but the manifold has cracked quite badly. So we're going to make some stainless steel 2.5-inch flexi decap pipes, because everybody voted on Instagram and Facebook on our stories, and it was something like 87% in favour of doing those decats. Yeah. So I mean, I've broken a silence decat and it's now cracked my manifold, which I'm pretty upset about.
But yeah, so what's version 2 look like? Or do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's go for it. So the Salon Supercharger kit is going to come off. But that's not because I don't love it. It's wicked. To be honest, on the road, it's absolutely fantastic. Even on track, it's really good. But we've acquired a Roadtrex. It's time for us to put in a supercharger that gives us a platform where we could make 300 wheel horsepower. And as part of doing that, what's going to happen is we need to pull the exhaust manifold to weld it. And if we're doing that, we're removing the supercharged kit anyway. We haven't gone through why Mary's called, well, we've kind of touched on it, but it's called Mary as in Mary Shelley, so Frankenstein's monster, because it's got all sorts of bits of different cars on this one car. So it's got a hard top off my Mark 2.5, strut braces off of it. It's got the bumper off of Gwyneth, engine and transmission and diff out of Gwyneth, and obviously the shell off of Mary Shelley. So
you can call, yeah.
And so I'm going to do a bit of a Frankenstein build on the engine, not for any reason other than that's what we've got laying about. So the Roadtrex is a C3074, so it's the smallest one, which should be a really good match for 1.6. And also it then gives everybody else that headroom. It doesn't mean that everybody has to be shooting the same numbers as what we're making. It's just what we could get our hands on. So and we're going to spin that as fast as we possibly can. That is still within what Roadtrex recommends. So it's got a 75mm pulley on that supercharger, which mated to the 130mm stock bottom pulley means that we're maxing out it's how fast we can spin it. So not sure, I can't remember how fast that is, but it's the most that Roadtrex recommend.
Cool. All right. So that's everything, right? So this is us up to date on what's going on with Mary. We'll bring out some more videos soon.
Yeah. Next video should be us pulling the engine.
Great.
Hopefully.
Brilliant.
Great.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.